Hey guys, we've got another awesome bike to do village flash and tune. We've got a 2024 Ducati V4S Streetfighter. So this one we have fitted a full Vandemon exhaust system to it, as you can see, under seat. System sits low, so it kind of just has the box at the bottom there. You can see it's a full system from headers right back. Let's just go to this side. You can see it runs down, does a whole lot of twirly whirlies there, quite an impressive system. So that's all in, and then a whole lot of accessories were fitted. So yeah, we're gonna basically de-restrict it and see what we can get out of it. So we'll be taking out all the factory restrictions, if there are any. I haven't done a 2024 before, so this is new to me. I'm sure it'll be new to anyone really. But yeah, let's see what she does on the pre-run. This is the one with the electronic suspension and everything else, so it's got Skyhook and everything else on it. Very impressive bike. I like the fins, very nice. Very nice. There's quite a few accessories fitted, so yeah. Let's see what she does. Stay tuned. The first time I ran it, it was actually jammed in limp mode, so the bike wouldn't even rev up past 4. And the reason for that is that it had the incorrect map in the ECU, because obviously before I got this bike stripped, it was being done by another shop. So what had happened was with a Ducati V4 Superbike map, and that was not compatible with this ECU, so it was locking up in limp mode. So I just had to flash in a base map already. So either way, I never got a pre-run on this bike. So I mean, it's making relatively okay power. I mean, it's pretty decent. But yeah, then we'll do some tuning. The fueling's all over the place. So I'm definitely going to gain power, fix a lot of flat spots. But yeah, this is our results. You can see on the curve, I suspect these are the safety maps that are kicking in, because obviously when you hammer the throttle open, there's various maps on the ECU. So possibly it's jumping onto a safety map, which is creating that huge dip. So that's just a guess. Don't hold me to it. We'll see on the tuning. But yeah, pretty decent bike. Obviously we can't really count this as a pre-run, because we got the bike stripped from another dealership, so we had to install this whole exhaust and everything else. There were some complications, and obviously the issue was these brackets. But yeah, basically if it was in stock form, according to my research, looking on the net, with a dyno that makes roughly what my dyno makes, they're about between 178 and about 182 standard, with the standard exhaust, standard everything. The ECU stock, remember the ECU was locked and in limp mode when I got it, so we had to load a file, which I'd already had to switch off O2 sensors and stuff, because we'd already disabled and taken quite a bit of stuff off the bike. So yeah, let's take a look here. So 186.7 horsepower and 106 Newton meters. You can see the air fuel ratio is extremely lean on the bottom, extremely rich on top. But rich on top is good for this bike. I'm happy with that. But yeah, that dip and stuff's no good. So let's take a look, see what we can do after some tuning. Okay, so we're busy putting our new filter in. There's our dyno air filter. And this is what came out. So obviously they don't hold them like they used to, There's a little bit sticky coming out. But anyway, there's the new one. We'll put some grease on the edges. So let's get that installed. I'll just quickly show you where it sits. So I had to remove the bike off the dyno, because you basically got to remove those 2 bolts there, and then it just goes into the cavity. So you just got to kind of slide it in there until it sits home. So yeah, just quickly do that and then we'll get that. Okay, I'm just busy with the right. You can see we're almost done there. The dash goes nuts. But how lucky am I really to have been able to sort this out, because if it had the wrong file on the ECU, like Harley Davidson, Ducati locks their ECU file to their VIN. Eventually I managed to come right. Okay, so there we're done. To switch it off, so there's quite a procedure before you can start the bike. But yeah man, so lucky to be working on such a nice machine. It's only got like 1,000 Ks on it. Amazing bike. I want one. Okay, so we got our O2 sensors installed. There's my one for the rear pots. And then obviously I've removed all this emission stuff out here and just taped everything up so that I can get in. Here's my other O2 sensor in the front cylinder. So now at least I can sample 2 banks, obviously to set the rear differently to the front, and then we'll swap over and just spot check the other cylinders that we haven't checked. But yeah, we basically split map this, so I collect 2 air fuel ratios at one time, and that's obviously because it's a V4 engine. The rear cylinder just doesn't get the airflow of the front. Like all V-twins, it's not that the air fuel ratio is different. We run the same air fuel ratio, but the rear cylinder, due to heat, has a different demand for the amount of fuel that it needs in order to achieve that air fuel ratio. So you'll find that your rear values are very different to your front, but you're still targeting the same air fuel ratio. So yeah, anyway, this is a nice bike. I've never run one of these before, so we'll see what power it puts out. Let's see. Okay, so after long suffering, Gerald here with the software issue. So basically, let me explain. On the software, as you can see, there's values there for target AFR. Those values were not in the software and you couldn't put them in. So there's no way for me to have actually collected data and accurately tuned this bike. The other issue is that the O2 sensors that I was using off the ZT4 logger, obviously Willits specifies using a ZT3 with a splitter, but you know, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just the cylinder allocation slightly different. So those problems are all fixed. It's been basically a week now of waiting to get this problem sorted, but we're all good to go now. So yeah, today's meant to be D-Day for this tune. So let's get into it and see what happens. Hopefully everything logs correctly and the cylinder allocation's all good. And then we can get this bad boy tuned up, make some ponies, eh? Okay, so we're done with our Ducati Streetfighter. This is the S model, so it's got all the sky hook and all the goodies, the nice fins, very nice bike, very, very nice. Okay, let's take a look here. We said that we were going to use a base run of 186, but obviously you see I wrote there before non-stock. So that means that the bike wasn't stock when I actually did my base run. But as you can see, our final results. So let's take a look at the results first. We went from 186 to 193 on peak and 106 Newton meters to 116. So you can see our air fuel ratio, the blue one, is nice and relatively straight. As I explained, these bikes are load based, so you can load it up, set that fuel ratio, but if you do a run, it's never going to be the same because it depends how much load you put onto the engine as to how rich or lean it pulls, you know. So we've disabled the stock narrowband sensors, which obviously, you know, those were controlling the fueling low down. That's why it was quite lean, you could see. And also that dip in the graph. So once I removed all the restrictions and everything, there's still a slight little, see it very, but you can't feel it like before. I mean, it was actually drastic how it used to kick in safety maps. So you can see we've gained huge the whole way up the range, but I noticed that I accidentally raised my base limiter. I pushed the wrong button, so it went up to like 15 something. I actually backed off on that run. But yeah, you can see basically the RPMs on top is a little bit messy there because I'd raised it too much. So stock was 14.5 and I've put it at 14.8. I didn't want to go too much because that's pretty high. I mean, 300 RPMs is fine, and plus the power's falling away. So as you can see, that's how I determine my RPM limit because the power drops off. So it's pointless now revving it until who knows when the engine's going to blow up, you know. So yeah, nice smooth curve, we're happy with that. 193 is pretty good power. It's pretty much on par with what the V4 superbikes are making. So I'm quite happy. I'm pretty sure the client will be too. So we're going to close it all up, put everything back together, and then we've got to road test it and just reset the service lights. I saw the other dealership didn't reset the service light after the service. So we will do that, and then yeah, we'll move forward and hopefully the client's all happy. First time doing one of these street fighters. It's been a lot of work, I'll be honest. I mean, realistically, I've been on the dyno for 3 days. So with all the problems we had with the base software not logging air fuel ratios and everything else, but yeah, we're at the end of the road now. We'll probably get onto a new one in the new year. I wish you all Merry Christmas and I hope you have a great one. Take care.